it's best to wait for. I need you all to have the online version ready. I believe you will have it open like this with only the default workspace. That is fine. You will be working in the default workspace. You can then close, for example, all these maps and start with an empty workspace. Don't look at my workspace that I have open. We will get to the workspaces another time. So prepare your online version, your default workspace, by closing all the maps that are open. So you have an empty default workspace. Okay, I presume that everybody is logged in, except for Olivier Cambi, who still was waiting for confirmation, I think, for his reset of the password. So in this part of section 2, I'm going to explain what the features are for maps, starting with viewing products with the selected color palette applied. So yeah, you have the possibility by clicking on the products to browse and search for your product of interest that you want to view, and select then also a color palette for it, where your map is your product is then opened in your map window. And as you can see, there is a timeline, as I explained also in the introduction. You can add vector layers, selecting them from a menu. There are many vector layers. The most important ones, the border layers, from level 0 to level 2 border layers available already in the system, also only for your area of interest. And apart from that, also protected area layers and marine layers like the EEZ. You can open these layers by selecting them from the layer menu, from the add layer menu. And as you can see, the layers are opened within the map and are interactive. So all the geometries that are inside the layer, they are interactive. Then you can draw geometries within the map. And as you can see in this case, you can also select, for example, a country and then outmask it. In the next slide, you see that you can view and administer also some objects that you can show or hide. One is the title object, which you can edit. A logo object, which you can edit. You don't see the editing window in here. And a disclaimer object that you can edit. As you can see here, you can also view a legend vertically, but also horizontally. And all the objects, they are movable, let's say, within the area of the map window. What else you can do if you have an account on the eStation and you are logged in, then you can also save a map. Oh, sorry, that is the next one. Sorry. You can save a map as PNG, so there is a button for that. So you position all the objects within the map the way you want to make a snapshot of it. And then you click on the PNG button. The PNG image is created, as you can see in here, exactly as it is, as you see on the map window itself. Of course, these images are meant for, to use in bulletin reports or wherever report you need images for. Then you can save a map view. So if you are logged in, you have the possibility to save a map. You click then on the save button. You can give a name to the map, and your map is then saved as, let's say, sort of a template. This map template, or just a map that you saved, you can then recall by clicking on My Maps, and you have your whole list of maps which you can just select and open. This is all needed for example, if you want to reuse in workspaces maps that you are creating without having to select the product again and create the whole layout every time you create a new map. Then also you can link map view windows with the zooming and panning, and also the timeline, so the selected product date. I will show you that now in a demo. So all the functionality that I have just explained, I will show you again a bit more slowly in the demo. For all this functionality, there are some course material, so there are some videos on all the maps. When you go to, no, it's not here, sorry. When you go to the analysis part, you see here 1, 2, 3 videos. You just click on them and you download them. And the same thing is valid for the classroom, where you have in each section of the analysis tool your videos that you can view or download. So the demo. What I'm going to show you now is how you, in the default workspace, create a new map. There's here a button, New Map. It's very clear. New map. If you have a small window, just click on this collapse thing, and then the whole header goes away, so you have some more space, somewhat more working space in your workspaces. So I clicked on New Map, and then an empty window is opened. You can resize it. You can also move this if you want. So what do you do in a map? You open, of course, a product. I'm just going to select a product like NDVI. I take the filters. So what I did is I click on products, and it's opened like this. You search for the category, within the category of your interest, the products that are available. So under rainfall, there are, if you have on your major station rainfall products, there are normally 5 products available. And these are the current vegetation products that are available. So in here you select a product, then for this selected product you see the map sets that are available. Most of the time there is only one map set available, but it can be that your eStation system administrator created more map sets for particular topics. So you select the map set of interest, and then you have here, under here, the list of sub-products, data sets that are available in the system. As you can see here, for NDVI, there are all the 10-day filtered statistics and anomalies available. So let's take, for example, this one, the 10-day NDVI filtered difference to long-term average. If you go over this eye icon, you have a small explanation on what this subproduct exactly is. The same thing is also here. You go over the eye and you see the information of the product itself. So I selected this anomaly product. And then you see for this particular subproduct the legends that are assigned to it, that you will apply to the map. So you can choose then the one that you are interested in. I choose the first one, the default one, and then you click on Add Map. And now the product is opened. And as you can see, okay, it's a little bit slow. As you can see, the selected legend is applied to the product. You can move the legend around, and also this object. The second thing that you see is that there is a timeline in here. I will talk about the timeline now. So the timeline. When you see green bars, it means that for that particular date, the file is, the data set is available. When you click on it, the product is opened for that particular date. You see the date also in the title, so the selected date, the current date. These bars, they can also be red. That means that they are for that particular date. I don't think that for this product, oh yeah. So for this particular date, this particular date is not present in the data set. So if you click on it, nothing will happen. Then another color that can happen is gray. When this bar is gray, it means that this file is permanently missing. So you will, it's just not to be considered in the data set. And also that one is of course not clickable. So in the timeline you can navigate, you can change the date from here. So for example, I take from 04. And it changes the range from this date to that date of available dates of the particular data set. And these are all green, so you can click on them. You can also navigate by these small buttons, let's say. This first one is show me the last 2 months, show me the last 3 months, 6 months, and the last year. And then year to date is for the current year to today. So that's everything in 2020. Another way to navigate within the timeline is to move this bar here. If you want to go back in some years and then select a particular date. I think that is more or less okay. You can refresh the timeline. For example, if you have a workspace open with some maps and a new date is available, but it's not in your timeline. So you can refresh the timeline. So you have also the last date available. That is this little icon here. It refreshes the timeline. Another thing that I showed also in the introduction demo is that you can play the visible timeline. So that is these dates that are currently visible. And you can set also the seconds, this is actually in milliseconds, of time delay that you want. So if I do 1 second, which will be too fast, I think, and then click on play, every second it tries to refresh, but the server is not so fast, so I have to put, for example, 3 seconds. And now it is changing the image every 3 seconds. And of course, you can stop also the playing of the timeline. It keeps on opening the last date that it was in the timeline. Okay, I think that is more or less the timeline. I will come to the linking and unlinking of the timeline a bit later when I have different maps open. So I go on with all the functionality available in the map. So I would like to add the vector layer. There is this menu button over here. You click on, and then a menu opens, and you have 3 types of vector layer categories, let's say. So we have all the border layers over Africa, Central Africa, East, North, South, West, and West. And then we have also all the border layers that fell under the major projects, where the regions were different than for the GMS in Africa. So the GMS in Africa, these regions are predefined and available. So for example, let's take South Africa, level 0. You just select it, and it is then opened like this. Then there are also marine layers, 3 of them available. Also there you select it, and they are opened automatically. Takes a while because I think the server is not so fast. Okay, there it is. And under others, we have, okay, these are my layers that I've created. I think I have to delete them. So by default, there is the WDPA protected areas layer. Then we have some layers for the Congo, for a basin that was needed in the past. And then we have also the protected areas. And you can also save layers yourself that you have drawn, and they all fall under the user-defined. They are saved under the user-defined series. But you know that. And some watershed labels, if you are interested in them. Mostly we use the border layers, of course, or the marine layers. And sometimes also, for example, the WDPA protected areas layer. It is a big one, it will take a while before it opens. So you see, for example, that there is a difference in color of the South African border layers. Not South African, but South Africa. Not the country, but the region, let's say. And for example, the WDPA protected areas layer. So if I go over this one, you see that it changes in opacity, but if I go over this one, let me zoom a little bit in. No, sorry. If I go over this one, it is green. So for these are settings for these layers. The settings you can change also within the menu. So you click on the menu, border layers. So I have the South African open. I want to change it from blue to another color. And you see here next to it, I hope that it is visible because it's quite small, a little icon with a tooltip that says edit layer draw properties. So you click on that, and then here you can change the color of the headline color, the highlight color, and the selected preview. For example, let's change this one, the outline color. And I don't want it blue, but I want it, what is it? Purple, for example. It is a very visible color. I change it. Now it is already saved. I close the window. Okay, I could then also have programmed it in such a way that it automatically updates the layer that is already open, but unfortunately for this change you have to re-go to the layer, then deselect it and reselect it. And now you see that the color, the outline color, it is changed. So if you want to change settings of certain layers that you have, vector layers that you have already open, you do that directly from the menu. So in the marine layers, for example, this one, I can change also the color. Blue would be not so good color, but maybe yes. Okay. Save. And I go again to the layer itself. I deselect it and I reselect it. And you see that the color is changed. Okay, is that clear to everybody? Any questions on this, on the maps part so far? No. Okay, good. That is about the layers. If you want to see which layers you have opened, there is here on the map a little icon where when you go over with your mouse, you see the list of layers that you have opened. You can deselect them also from here, like this. Okay. And the base layer is, of course, the product layer. Okay. So all these geometries, they are selectable. And so they have also a different color, which you can change from the menu when they are selected. Now, for example, I select this one is completely red. And very thick outside. Etc., etc. Okay, that is then the layer. So let me just keep South Africa open. Okay. When you double click on a geometry of a layer, you zoom in and it is centered within your map window. So double click and it's extent, let's say, of with some margin around it, is centralized in your map. Now you can also draw geometries. Here is the button that activates the drawing, so it's a toggle button. It has also a menu where you can change, for example, I want a square. I click on it, it changes color, it becomes blue with yellow. So now you see also that the drawing is activated. And you hold your mouse button and then you put your mouse button somewhere, you click somewhere, and then since I am working with a square, I've selected the square, it creates a square for you. So you let it go by a click, and then you have here your drawn area. I can create another one, like that. Okay. For now, you cannot change the color of these drawn elements that might be implemented in another version. So I'm still in drawing mode because you see the blue point, let's say, on my mouse. I can select, for example, also a polygon. Polygon is drawn differently. You click, and you start drawing, you click again, and you click again, and you double click to close. And you have your polygon in here. Okay, you can also use a point, a line string, or a box. Yeah, none should not be there, but okay. That's about it. Oh, sorry. There is also a reset button here that you can just clear all your drawings. So I click on reset and all your drawings are gone. You have to start drawing again. So I create a polygon again, like that, and that. I have 2 polygons. Now, on the online version, unfortunately, we do not have the possibility to upload anything, and also not to save the drawn areas that you have made in your map. But on the Mesa station, here in this menu, there is also a save as item, where when you click on it, you can give a name to this, the layer that you are creating of all your drawn elements within your map. And then you have created a new layer, let's say, of your drawn polygons or geometries. So here on the online version, I cannot show that. So if you have the chance to sit behind the Mesa station, you can also try to save the layer that you have drawn. As you can see here, in the past we were able to do this on the online version. They are placed under other layers, user-defined. So for example, here there is this layer, drawn layer sample, and I don't know where that is, of course. Could be a very small area, but you will find your drawn layer then here under other layers, user-defined. This is on the laser station. Okay. So, okay, that is the drawing of vector layers. I think I've explained now everything about the vector layers. I think it's quite clear. So if you have any questions on that, please let me know. How can we mask this layer for a specific region? Okay. You mean outmask or mask completely? Okay, so there is one possibility to mask, and that is if you click on the polygon, so now you see that it is selected, you can then outmask the selected geometry. So if you click on this toggle button, outmask selected geometry, you see that everything outside of the selected geometry is outmasked, is white. If I double click on it, now I zoom on it. If you click again on the outmask button, you see the whole product. Nagla, is that answering your question? Okay. Thank you, Nagla. Fahim is asking, how do we select more than one polygon? Well, that is not possible. Selecting more than one polygon is has not been implemented for the simple reason that the polygons, the selected ones, they are connected to the time series graphs. So, okay, I'm going to show you that quickly. So if I click here on new graph, you have a tool here which you can collapse also or close and recall, where you are going to generate your graphs, let's say. And they are these graphs, time series graphs, they are generated for the selected area. So in this case, my drawn polygon. So if I select another area, can I not select another area? For example, Zambia. Now my area is Zambia. So the generation of the graphs is based on one selected polygon. So if I enable the fact, because that is very much possible, when it is implemented, if I turn that on in a map, then you have to push the control button and you select another area, and then you select more areas. But yeah, we did not do that because of the simple fact that time series graphs are generated on over one selected area. This could be, of course, a feature for the system within the analysis tool, that we will implement in the future if there are many requests for that, to be able to generate, for example, or more selected areas. If you select all of the areas of a certain layer, that you see then all of them here, and then you generate the time series in a graph for all those areas. That could be a future feature of the system, yes. So Fahim, does that answer your question? Okay, thank you. But does this selection reflected on the legend's value? Nagla, you mean the legend? No, the selection. No. I mean, this is just a selection of a polygon of a vector layer. It has not much to do about the product itself. So the legend is connected to the product. The time series, for example, if you select the same product here in the time series, it generates the time series over the selected area. So it clips over the period that you select within the graph that you want to generate. It selects all for this product all the dates, and it clips those the data set over the area that you selected. So you have your statistics only over this area. So yeah, okay.
Maybe Julian, if I can intervene on this question. In some cases, in some GIS tools, the legends are dynamically adapted to the range of values you have in a selection or in the full product. It's not the case here, as explained by Julian. So the legend themselves are static. They do not depend on the range of values in your area of visualization or selection. So there are the two options. We decide to go for that one in order to have a more stable reference. So if you generate anomalies of precipitation, vegetation for 1 month over one region, you get exactly the same colors as for another region, another period. Maybe you have a less dynamic extent, less contrast on the image, but the reason why we decide to keep it static is exactly to have always the same reference, so you can easily compare maps generated for different periods and region. So that's the reason behind it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Julian. Sorry for interrupting. You can go on.
No problem. Okay, so I go on. So if there are no more questions about this part, then I quickly go through the rest because we have to start doing exercises. So okay, let me finish here. So I've explained also the outmasking. So if you zoom into an area, for example, this area here, this is the outmask button. You click on it, you select it, and you deselect it. The selecting and deselecting is also for the object. So this is the button that shows or hides the map objects, which is a title object. As you can see, I go over it and it shows it. Title object, double click to edit. And then there is a disclaimer object, which is this one, which is empty. And a logo object, which has the default logo of GMS in Africa. Also here, you go over it, you see disclaimer object, double click to edit. And logo object, double click to edit. So if I double click the lower object, the small window is opened, and you see here the selected logos. You can double click the selected logo to remove it from the selected area, or add it by double clicking in this area here. And then I will do the ACP, for example. And there are many logos, as you can see, of all the partners, all the institutions already in there. And you just double click on them to add them. You can do that the same here. You double click and double click to add. So when you are done, you are happy with it. Let me remove this one. You have here the Save Changes icon button. Click on it, and you see in the logo object your selected logos. It is that simple. On the Mazer station, you can also add your own logo, which is not available here. But on the Mazer station it is. On the Mazer station you see next to the Legends and Layers button also a Logos button. And there you can manage all the logos that are on your system. You can add them, you remove them, you can create new ones, etc. Which then are available here in this list. So on the Mazer station it is available. I show it also, I think, in the videos of the course material, but here I cannot show it to you. So that was a logo object, disclaimer object. So this is the disclaimer. You can just put any text, just write also sentences. Normally what you put here is references or maybe references to the layers that you are using for copyright or whatever. The text is all configurable, and you can put anything you like. So you save it here. Also here there is a save button, and it is reflected within your disclaimer object, which you can move around when you need, where you want it, when you want to make a PNG of your map. Then there is the title object. You double click on it. You see here three fields, let's say, that are built in the system, which you can use. So this is the default value of the title object. There is the selected area. If you don't want that, then you just remove it. There's the product name. So the name of the product will be put in the title bar, which is 10-day and NDVI filter diff to long-term average, and also the product date. So you can also make it smaller. You can add also text, my text, okay, and do whatever you want. And then you save it, and it will be reflected in the title object. So here there is again the save changes. You click on it, and as you can see, now the selected area is not visible in here, but just the product information, the date, and my text. Also, the title object is movable, and you can then also say, well, no, I want also the selected object in here. So you have here next to the font type a greater than slash, no, smaller than slash greater than icon button. When you click on that, you have the possibility to select the automatic fields. So I want selected area, so I say selected area, and it is there. You can type it also if you remember it, but okay, so now I'm happy, and I save it, and this is my title bar. A bit ugly, but move this font. Okay. Yes, well, that's it. I hope that it is clear concerning the objects. There's another object here that is the legend. So let me hide now the objects that I'm not interested in. So here you have the legend. And this legend, you can also, by double clicking on it, to change its view. It says it also in pip. So you double click on it, and now you have the legend in horizontal, which is not even correct. Okay. That is not really nice to see, so let me open another product. So you can view it also horizontally by double clicking on it. And you double click again, you have the vertical one. Also this legend, you can move around where and put it anywhere in the visible area of the map view. You can also hide the legend if you're not interested in the legend. There's this button here with color palettes, show and hide legend. If you click on it, it's a toggle button, it hides it or it shows it. Okay, that is about it. Now I can also save what I have here. So I view, for example, my disclaimer logo and the title object. And you click on this button here where it says PNG under the download. So you download the map as PNG. You click on it, and then a screenshot is made of the map. I can open it, but I don't think you can see it. No, you cannot see it because it is opened in another screen. I'm sharing a different screen. Okay, but anyway, so you click on the PNG button. It's also all explained in the course material videos, so you can re-see it again. So you just click on it, and a snapshot is made exactly the way you see it, with all the objects inside. Okay, I think that is practically all the functionality. Oh no, okay. There's also here within the map, you have some tools that you can use. Of course, the famous zoom in, zoom out, which is also done by your scroll bar. And then you have a zoom factor. So the zoom factor works like this. So when it is low, then it zooms very slowly, let's say, in small. The zoom factor is lower. If I make it high, like this, and I scroll, it scrolls very fast. So if you need to, for example, to center it a little bit more a certain area within the view, then it is best to keep your zoom factor on 1 so that you can Just slowly zoom like this. Okay, is that clear to everybody? Okay. Okay. So that was the zoom factor. Then there is also the opacity slider. I don't think that many people use this, so you can change the opacity of the product behind. Did not show me it at all. Okay. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this map that I have created. Okay, one thing, just very quickly. You can hide also or view the timeline. You can also hide this bar here if you need some space. There is a button here. It is like a settings button, let's say. If you click on it, it hides also the toolbar, like this. So if you, for example, have many maps open, but yeah, okay, you prefer to close them all and move them a little bit around, and you have only the ones open that you are interested in. There's this collapse and expand button here in the top. This one. So, okay. Now, what I'm going to show you is the linking of maps and also the linking of the timeline. For that, I need another map, at least. So I'm going to save this map that I have created. Updating of logos is only possible for system admins. There is a question, sorry. Yeah, Kenneth, no. The updating of logos is possible for everybody on the Mesa station. So here we don't have the possibility. And for sure, you can update, everybody can update in the account the logos that you want to view in your map. But the logo administration, yes, that is available on the Mesa station for everybody. Okay, you have an outdated, okay. That is strange. But Kenneth, you must have version 2.2.0, I think. Okay. So what I want to do now is I want to save this map the way it is. You see here the Save Map template button. You click on it, and automatically already the name of the product and its version is put in there. So I just name it my 10-day mesh 10-day NDVI filtered, and then you click on OK. You can of course also cancel it. You click on OK, and you should see a message here. You see this message here on the top, map template created. Now, to recall your saved map template, as you can see in this map that it has been saved. So this is the name that you gave it as, for the template. But the name is also printed here in the title bar. Now I want to recall my map, so I'm going to move it, and you will see that it will be reopened exactly the way I left, where I saved it. So here under my maps, you see the whole list of maps that you have saved as a template. So you click on it, my maps, then a list is appearing, and you see that I have saved quite some maps, and I will search the one that I just saved. So here my 10-day and here I filtered. You select it, comes blue, and you click on open selected. And as you can see, it is opened with the product that you selected and also the layers that you have selected. Positions of the objects are exactly as where you left them. And that's it. So you have your template open. It is very handy to reuse the maps that you are creating. So now I have two maps in here. You see here that there is and the title bar is not updated because this is an older version. It was already. Okay. Sorry about that. You actually are supposed to see also in the title bar the selected product with date and the product code, subproduct code and version. But there must be a bug in the system. Okay, so now I have two maps open. I want to show you that the linking of the maps. You can see here that a map template is opened, unlinked. That is because the linking is when it is linked, it zooms then to the background layer. So to actually, so if I now, you see here that this window is not linked because it is red, but this window is linked. So when I zoom out a bit, I move it, and you see that this map is not moving or zooming together with this map here. That is because it is not linked. So if you click on it and you link it, just toggle button, so it goes gray, and now the chain is joined again, which means that the maps are linked. As you can see, it is in the exact position as the other map, which is also linked. So if you move it, the maps are moved. If you zoom, everything is done synchronously. You can then also, of course, unlink it. So you say, okay, I want to concentrate on this area, and here I want to concentrate on this area. So that is how you link and unlink maps. It's quite simple to do, I think. So you can also link and unlink timeline. So there is a button here below. Yeah, I think that I will choose another product in here so that you see in the bar also the date. I'll choose another product. Chips. Okay. So you see here for chips. The date is 11/11/2020, which is the last date available. Here we see the date is 21/10/2020, which is another date. So the linking of the timeline is always turned on. And you see that on this button, it is orange here also. But when you unlink, it becomes red. So the timeline is not linked. So I link them both, so they are orange, both. And I click, for example, here on the 1st of October 2020. As you can see also in the other map view, the date is changing to the 1st of October 2020, if it is available. If it is not available, then it gets the nearest date that is available for that product. So for example, if you have here long-term average, it takes the month or a monthly long-term average, then it takes only, for example, August, it takes the August one. So the timelines are linked. If you don't want that, then you have to unlink the timeline. So you go to the window that you want to unlink, because, for example, you want to see 2 or 3 dates in 2 or 3 map view windows of the same product of different dates. Then you unlink here by clicking on it, the timeline, and you click then on another date, and the product date is only changed for this map view window, like this. And the same here, because there are no others, even if it is linked. Okay, I think that is it that I can show you concerning the maps. Maybe one thing that I can show you is here, that you can also delete saved maps. So I can also delete it from here. And it is not anymore in the list. So if I now close this one, then I won't have it again. Okay. Your timeline disappeared. I have copied that. So yeah, there are some questions here. There also part instruction how to update the local machine.
Yeah, so Juliana, I had an exchange with Canetta on the option of updating the logo. In my opinion, is enough to replace this file with a new one of similar dimension, exactly same name and similar the same format. Okay, maybe we can go to that afterwards, after the class, directly with Kenneth. Then Fahem, yeah. Fahem had an issue on the timeline. Maybe you can show how the timeline is displayed and how you can hide it, hide and unhide the timeline. Yeah. So Fahem, you see how you can
so here
close.
In the middle, yeah. The small arrow. If you click on it, it hides or shows the timeline.
Yeah, Fahem, this is done to save space. You will see in the workspaces we are now going to illustrate even in coming sessions that you put together different objects, so several maps, several graphs, and when you're happy with this visualization, you might want to save space by hiding this timeline. But indeed, you have to open it. Good. Any other question? I don't see additional question from the audience. I think it's good to go also for some exercises. Have some. I don't know if the people online. I imagine that you are also playing already with the tool itself, with the online version. But you have prepared also a number of exercises of action to reproduce on the interface in order to experience a bit and play a bit with the interface itself. So if you have other questions, other troubles, you can just directly ask Jurjan or
yeah. Okay. Yeah, so this is the exercise that we are all going to do. I think that you already started doing it. But yes, I just for the next, let's say, 15 minutes, I would like you to go through the exercise. And if you have any questions or you need any help, please raise your hand. And, let me know. On the online system, you cannot add a logo into the file system. I have no access to this production server, so we cannot do that in 2 seconds. But on the Mesa station, you can do that. So on the Mesa station, you will see on this place a button called Logos. And there you can delete logos and you can add logos. So you can upload your own logo. But here it is not possible. So yeah, for this exercise, you have to choose another logo. Just play a little bit with the logo administration tool. And when you are working on the Mesa station or the Windows version, if you have that, you can just simply upload your own logo. Is that clear, Diouf?
Yeah, it's clear, but it was just in case I have to use the online version, for example, not at office, and I want to draw a map with a CSL logo and something like that. It was the if it's possible, not today, but after, yeah, it will be helpful.
You can send us your logo.
Okay.
We have that already. Marco, do you know if we have that?
Well, we should have it, and actually this is a mistake from our side of the logo of AGS. Consortia leader should be there already. So we have not be careful enough in double checking. So just as is send us the official logo. I might be able to retrieve it from a presentation from your institution, but better if you have say the official one to send to us. And in a very little time, we'll take care of upload it and make it visible and available on the online version also.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I will do.
Okay. If there is anybody else that misses their logo and they want it on the online version, please let us know. So, okay, I show the exercise again. Yeah, I can walk through it again. So create a new map and open a product of choice from the product navigator. So I'm going to show that to you again. So you click on the new map. A new map is opened. You can resize it the way you want. And then you have here the products button. We call it the product navigator. So you click on it and then you see all the categories. So you choose the one of interest, for example, oceanography, the chlorophyll. Yeah, this is the chlorophyll. You click on the map set of interest. You see then all the data sets that are available. Let's choose the 8-day. Then all the legends appear. I choose the one of the University of Ghana from Ignatius. And you click on Add Map. And you see that the product is added to the map. Make it a bit bigger, like that. You see then that there is a timeline, and the product is opened, and the legend is visible. Okay, so I think that is 1 and 2. Now we can choose some different dates from the timeline. So you go to the timeline. The green ones are available, and the red one is not available. So there's one date missing. So you click then on a green bar, for example, the 8th of May. And you see then the product of the 8th of May, which you see also in the title bar of the window. And click again. Here you have the navigation buttons. I want to see only the last 6 months, or the last 3 months, or the last 2 months, the last year. You can play also a bit by going to the past, by dragging this slider to 2000, for example, and 10. And then you can choose the product of 2010.
فيديو ما زالوا قاعدين نعمل فيديو تاع زيد الحس
Choose different dates from a timeline. Now I'm going to open the Africa level 0 border layer. So here you have the menu, border layers, Africa, level 0, sorry. And you select Africa level 0. And it is opened in your map view. You can choose also for adding a level 1 layer, for example for East Africa. You click on it and it is added. Or in this case, it's more interesting in having a marine layer, and you add the EZ. Like this. Okay. I hope that is all clear. Show the map objects, and everybody can do that also. Show the map objects and editing as you like. I think that many people are already there. So here there's the toggle button to show and hide the map objects. As you can see, there is a title bar, a logo object, and a disclaimer object. The logo you can open editor tool, you can open by double clicking on it. And you can add logos by double clicking on it from the area where there are the available logos. For example, this one. You can remove them also by double clicking on them. And then save. And you see the logos in there. In the logo object. Disclaimer object the same. You can edit and put any text you like. You save changes. And you see it reflecting in the disclaimer object. The title object the same, so I can remove what there is by default. If you want the selected area, you say here in the button add dynamic field. I want the selected area, and then I want a new line, and then I want the product name, and then I want the date. I want them all bold, a bit bigger, and so this one maybe blue. And then you save it. And you see the reflecting in here. Select an area. Like that. Okay. Let us quickly again the map objects, out masking, save as PNG, or save the map as template. So out masking, you select an area from your vector layer that you have open. You select one, for example, this area. Let me zoom into it also by double clicking on it. And then there is here the out mask selected geometry. You click on it, you toggle it, and you out mask or not. Like this. Okay. Then try to save and download the map as you can see it in the map view as PNG. You click on the download map as PNG. Now the image is created and it is downloaded automatically, as you can see here, to your local computer. You can open it, but I cannot show it because my image viewer is not in the shared area. But you can test it yourself. Now there is save the map as a template and open the save map. I'm going to do that now. Yeah. My mouse is a bit sensitive. So I want to save without objects maybe. I want to save this map. You click on the save button, save map template, it says. It gives you automatically the name of the product. Test. You give it your name that you want, any name, and you click on OK. Then a message appears, and it is done. But the template is created. Okay. Now under My Maps, refreshing the list, I see the map that I just saved. So if I open my saved map, you see that it opens exactly where I left it. So if I move it, you see that the one that I saved is already there. As you can see, both of them are based on the template, so they both have the template name in the title bar. If I now make changes, for example, to this one, I zoom a bit in, and then I save here again. It says map template is updated. Now I reopen the template, and it opens with the way I last saved it, as you can see. One thing that I forgot to explain, so I close this one. You can also, you see here an arrow next to the save button. You can save this template also under a different name. There is a save as. You click on it and you give it another name. Tools test. Okay. Copy. And I created the map template under a different name. Yeah. Open source. Okay. As you can see, it has a different name. Zooming and panning, timeline, and draw geometries. At what stage is everybody? Everybody did already the whole exercise? Or is someone still busy doing the exercise? Nobody? I think we are running a little bit out of time, so maybe it's better that I go on because I have to show you still and let you do and create other things for the analysis tool. So maybe it's best that I go on. Hello? Is someone still busy doing the exercise? Let's reply the ones that are still busy.
Hi, Julian.
Yes, hi.
Yeah, but when I came to save the image as a PNG, I see that no, I have no scale. I have only the main title appearing in the map, but no logo, no scale, nothing.
Okay.
Basically, yes.
Yeah, that can happen indeed. So what you say is that, for example, you open your map objects like this, and you save it as PNG, and then you don't see the logo object, for example.
Yes, of course.
The PNG.
And even the lesson.
Yeah. That can be because of a timing problem, that it could not manage to paste the objects within the image on time. So it should work better if you just click again on the PNG. It might happen again, but it should be okay if you just download the PNG again, you click again, and the object should be there. So if you try to save as PNG again, then it should work. So the first time it might happen that there is a problem with generating the image. Is it okay now, Diouf?
Yeah, the lesson is here, but the scale and the logo, no.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. Might be a problem also for the server part, but okay. We will have a look into that. Normally it should work.
Okay, okay.
Okay, I will write that down. Okay, so if nobody else has how to delete a polygon. Okay. From existing layers, you cannot just delete a polygon. From your drawn polygons, you can only reset. You can reset, so if I draw a polygon like this, and then I deselect the drawing mode, I select the drawing area, and you just push the delete key. Should work, maybe like this. Yeah. Okay. I'm working on my Mac. So normally you should be able to delete also a drawn polygon on your drawn layer. But once you have saved it, you cannot edit the layer. So for example, if I want to delete this this polygon of the EEZ layer, then you cannot do that. So. Is that fine? Why would you like to delete a polygon, Marlaan? Is that clear, Marlaan? Okay, thank you. So I will go on with the slides because we are a half an hour ahead now, behind schedule. So I hope that everything is clear to everybody. And that everybody managed to work on the online version, and that the maps part is all clear to you. So now I go to the legends. Okay. Here you see in the product navigator of a map window the list of legends that you are available, and that are the list of legends that you can select from. But you can also assign, you see an assign button there, a new legend that is not in the list. I will show you that later how to do that. And then what you can also do is you can copy from the legend administration. I will show you how the legend administration will be opened. You can copy a legend. As you can see here, this is the selected legend. And when you click on copy legend, it copies the selected legend. So this is the copy. I will show you also that. And from the legend administrator, you can also edit legends. So you open a legend, you see then the legend editor, and here you can change colors, values, labels, and you have a preview of the legend that you are editing. Also this I will show you. Oh, sorry. When you are, you can also create a new legend. When you create a new legend, you can also, why is this in 3 parts? Oh, I think I have to, this was a slideshow, so I can bring this to front. Okay, so you can open a new legend. You will see this window, it's empty, it has no classes. You can create here a new class, there's a new class button. And then this one, no. Okay, sorry, yeah. Here you see that you can also generate classes and generate classes in a using logarithmic values. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess because in Google Sheets you cannot really show the slideshow because it takes my whole screen. And then it becomes, I have a big screen and it becomes not really visible. So you can generate classes. There's a generate classes tool. I will show you that also. And then there you can also calculate logarithmic values over an existing legend class. So these are all the possibilities with legends. I will give you a demo now. And as usual, there is also a video that explains everything that I am going to show you now. After my demo, you will have an exercise so that you can do it all yourself also. So I go to a new workspace. So let's say that, for example, I am not really happy with the legends that are available for this product, the filtered ones, for example. I don't like these legends and I want to add one. So what you do is you open the products navigator and you go to the color schemes part and you see this button, assign legends. If you click on it, then you have the window where you can assign another legend. So let's go to some NDVI. There are many legends, of course. For example, this one. From 0 to 0. That doesn't matter. I just choose this one. And then you click on assign selected legends. I can also, by holding the shift key, choose more legends and then click on assign selected legends. Okay. So now you see also the P4 value and the P3 NDVI value P3 in your list from which you can select. So for example, this one, then you say add to map and it opens the product. Yeah, okay. That is of course a legend that you cannot choose for this product because it doesn't have the party values. Maybe this one. Yeah. So this way you can change the list of available legends that you should also be able to remove them. Okay, but also on the online version that is not possible. But on the Mesa station here, there's another, let's say, button behind each legend that deletes the legend from this list. Here, unfortunately, you cannot do that on the online version. Okay, I hope that is clear. So you click on Assign Legend, you pick a legend from the list. If the legend that you prefer is not in the list, then you can always create a new legend, as you can see from here, or copy an existing legend. For example, let's say that for this one, I just don't like one color and I want to change it, only the color, and then what you do is you copy the legend and then you assign it to the product. I can show you that by the Legends administration tool. So here there is a button for the Legends administration tool. When I click on it, you have the Legend administration tool open. You see the complete list of all the legends. Maybe with your view it will be different, that you see here an eye instead of an edit icon. But that is because my account has administrator rights, so I can change by the JRC defined legends, and normally the user should not be able to edit them. So I hope that you you see here an eye on your system, or
Yes, of course.
Okay. Okay, good. So normally you see here an eye, and what you can do then. So I cannot show that to you here because I have administrator rights. I can do everything. When you click on the eye, then you open the editor, let's say, but you cannot edit. You can also not save. You can only view the logo. So what I wanted to show to you is, for example, I wanted to create for this one a different color. Now this is the ratio. Which one was it? This one. I wanted to copy this one and change the color. So I select it. I click on Copy Legend. And what it did, it created the copy. You can see that in the name. And now you should be able to see the edit icon. So you can edit it. So you click on it and then you change anything you like. So if you are not happy with the values, you change the values. If you're not happy with the color, you change the color. So I make a very obvious color in here. And then I say, okay, I'm happy with this legend. And then I save. And the legend should be saved. Okay. I close it. And now if I go to my product navigator and I say assign legends, and I select the NDVI, I'm going to slow. I select my copy that I just created and I assign it to my product. So now I should see it here in the list. Look, here it is. I select it and I add it to the map. And as you can see, your legend has been changed. Okay. So you can also create a new legend, of course. And you can also delete legends that are not that are defined by by the user, not defined by your JSC. So a new legend, you click on the new legend button. You give the legend a name. Title in the legend is the title that comes here. And then you say, I don't know, You can select a min value. It is also taken from the class that you are going to create, and the max value. So min value is, for example, 0, max value is 1. Okay, this one you should not see, but I'm an administrator, so I can choose if legend is user defined or JSC defined. But don't look at this because you will not be any administrator. So, okay, now I start creating my my legend. So I have to create new classes. If you click on the new class button, it creates a new class with standard values. And you keep on clicking, and so this way, so maybe 10 of them. And then you can change the values from 0 to 1, 1 to oh dear, 1 to 2. And you can change the color. And this one also. Like this, etc., etc. I don't want to create more of them, but you can anyway create your classes like this. You can put a class label 1 and 2 like this, and you have your legend like that. And last label you can also put, for example, bigger than. If you are happy with your legend, you can save it, and that's it. You can also delete classes here by clicking on the X item. So let me delete classes. And then you can also generate classes. So here there is a generate classes button to indicate how many classes you want. For example, 25. And the start value is 0. And I go to 250. The start color is red, that is fine. And the end color has to be green-ish. Green like this. Okay. It doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't matter. You click on the, you can also select for apply class label. So then it puts for every class a label according to its value, its start value. No, end value, I think. Yeah. So you click on generate. And as you can see, oh, where is it? As you can see, it generates 25 classes for you and changes the color from the start color to the end color. And if you are happy with it, you can leave it like this. But you can always change here and there the values and labels if you like. As usual, you have always an example on how it is going to be visualized. And that's it. If you click on this icon, then it says it already. You delete all your classes. Like that. So if I regenerate again my classes, I have here my 25 classes. Then you can generate log values, log x values over the classes that are existing in your legend. So in this case, 25 classes. Over 25 classes, it will generate a log value. So for example, I say so the minimum value for min value is almost 0. It cannot be 0, as you know. And then, for example, I go here to 25. You click on generate, and as you can see, it generates all the values until 25 in logarithmic style. Of course, the class labels have nothing to do with it anymore, but you have to change your class labels then manually, like this, etc., etc. Okay, I hope that that is more or less clear. To everybody. So when you are happy with your logo, you just save it. You click on the save button. Okay. And now your legend is saved. And close the edit legends. And I should see my legend somewhere. What name did I give? Test. I don't remember the name that I gave. My legend, that was it. And you can assign it to the product that you, where you would like to apply this legend. Okay, I think that is everything concerning the legends. Yes, that is everything. So now I hope that you already started doing this. You can start with the exercise. So you can start with the open map that you have. Assign a different legend to the subproduct within your. So I can show it to you again. You open for the first exercise. Okay, let me ask first that if everything is clear to everybody. No reaction at all. Okay, then that should be fine. So if everybody is starting now with the exercise, I will show you in the meantime the first one, how you do this. Assign a legend from a map to its subproduct. So you go to your map, open the product navigator, click on Assign Legend, and then for the product of interest, it has to be a legend that, for example, my new legend. It will probably not work with these values. Actually, no, it will not work with these values, but okay. I just select the legend, and then I click on Assign Selected Legends. So now I should see my new legend in here. I can select it and add it to the map. Okay. Okay. No reaction from no one. No. Okay. Copy an existing legend and edit the copy by changing the color of the first class. I showed you that already. So I'm going to show it again. So I open the Legend Administration tool. I select the legend, for example, this one, the first one. I click on Copy Legend. I select my copy. I click on the Edit icon. And I'm going to change again the first color. Now I'll put it on this very visible color. Then I click on Save. Okay. Okay. I close my Edit Legend window. I close my Legend Administration. And then I can open the anomaly maybe. What the difference? No. Okay. I choose a different product. Might work with this product, my copy. You click on Assign Legend. And you select. I see that people are doing the same thing that I am doing. And I select.
I think it's me.
Yeah, that is perfectly fine.
I was a bit confused.
Okay. So I select the one that I created, assign selected legends, and I choose it. Click on Add to Map. Okay, it's not really a legend for this product, but that doesn't matter. What's important is that you get the idea. Okay. So I have to go faster because it is already very, very late. Because we still have to do all the graphs and also the layers. So, and it is late. I have only 1 hour for that. So I think I will go a bit quicker. Is that okay with everybody? Did everybody already create a new legend, for example? Okay, so I wait for 5 minutes so that you can finish the assignment. If something is not clear, please let me know, otherwise I will show it to you again. Okay, so I let you work and I will show you the exercise so that you can do the exercise. And wait for 5 minutes. Go on. If you want to finish your exercise, please open the slides of your own copy of the slides to view the exercise because I will change the slides now. Okay, working with layers. So as you know, I've shown you that there are various border layers and marine layers and other layers like protected areas. And there is also a layer administration tool that from where you can open and edit existing layers. Well, on the online version you cannot change GSC layers, but you can create your own one and upload also your own layer, but not on the online version. On the Mesa station you can do that. Oh, sorry. So you can view JSC defined layers. You can edit user defined layers. So if you have some layers user defined, you can see then here in the background that there is an edit icon and a delete icon. And you can edit, you can edit your own layers. So on the online version, you will probably try to create some new layers, and they will all be user defined. So we will see everybody's layer that they are going to create in the next exercise after I gave a demo. So here you see the edit layer window, but you can also create a new layer and import your own layer. The importing can only be done in GeoJSON format. This is important to know because most of you have all shape files, and shape files are not readable in the browser, so they have to be transformed in GeoJSON. This you can do very easily in QGIS. You just open your vector, your shape file in QGIS, and then you say save as, and then you select GeoJSON, and it saves it for you in GeoJSON format. From the GeoJSON format, you can then upload here in the import layer dialog to the server and upload it as a vector layer that you just created or converted. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a demo, and shortly after you have this exercise. So the layers. As you can see, also on the laser station, there is a layers button in here. You click on it and the layer administration tool is opened. So you will see all eyes here, and you can actually not edit any layer. But this is the whole list, so if I want to now edit, for example, the Central African layer, I click on the edit button, and here I can, for example, change the GeoJSON file. I can show you better. So this is the GeoJSON file, but you can select one that is already on the server. So here you see the whole list of GeoJSONs that are already on the server. So you can select one from here. So you can change the GeoJSON file if you want. I don't want to do that. So I'll close. I can maybe show it, Central Africa 0. So I say it has to be Central Africa GeoJSON 1. You click on select GeoJSON file, and as you can see, now it is the one that you selected. Okay, I'm not going to do that, so I'll leave it on 0. You can change also the description, the name, how it is going to be visible, and also the feature display attributes. These are the attributes that are within your vector layer. Your vector layer table. So for example, your vector layer can have the attribute, an attribute where is the name of the region or the sub-region. for example. So you have to understand what you have to open your shapefile or your GeoJSON file and look what attribute names you would like to see as the feature display. So this. So you see, if I go over here, you see that Democratic Republic of the Congo is shown in here. Libya, Chad, Algeria. So that is the attribute name of your shapefile. I'll go back to the administration, edit. You put here. If you want more names, more attributes, you can just select or make it comma delimited and put another name. One, maybe. I don't know. For example, here you can put the provider, which is very important, of course. You can select the layer type, it's practically always polygon. You can also have point of line layer types. But most of the time polygon is covering also line and point. The order index is actually the index of importance within the map. So the higher it is, the more the higher the layer is put in the layer stack. So if you put here 1, which is most of the time for layers like the protected areas or level 1 or level 2 even, so that they become selectable within your map. I will show you this also, how that works, the order index. Then the layer menu, where you want it. So in this case, it goes under border layers. And you can create also a sub-menu. In this case, this is the name of the sub-menu, where you want this layer to be put within the menu of the map view. I will show you this also. Of course, you can activate it or deactivate it. If it's activated, it's shown in the menu, and otherwise not. And you can also select to have it automatically opened every time you create a new map. I can select this. And here you can, on the side, change all the settings for the layer, like the outline, the highlight, and the selected feature. You can also import a GeoJSON file, which is not going to work because it is not allowed on the online version. But this is the dialog. You click on this icon and then you can select from your local machine a GeoJSON file that you want to upload. In this case, I don't have any GeoJSON, I think. I might go here to here. No, it's not here. Here. I have some GeoJSON, but they are already on the system, so I just select one. Doesn't matter. For example, East Africa 00. Click on open, and then I say import. which will go wrong. Doesn't get an answer because it is not possible. Okay. So doesn't work. Not here, but you can do it on the Mesa station. Okay, I hope that is clear. When you are happy with your layer, you save it. And there it is. You have your changes done now. Okay, you can also add a layer. The same thing here, you have to give a name, a description, and go through all the fields. Even import a layer, it's working all the same as an edit layer. You save it and it will be added to, for example, I can say my layer description. I select one existing. I don't know, provider, me, and the order index is 1. I put it in other layers. Okay, my layer layers. In the submenu, my layers. Colors are fine. And then I save. And here is my layer. So now if I close the administration tool, this is everything that you can do in the layer administration tool, apart from deleting also, I will show you that also. And I can go to the menu here and see in other layers, the new menu, my layers, and there is my layer. And I can open it. And it should open. Okay, it's there, but I have to remove the everything layer so you can see it. Okay, that's everything about layers. So you can try it if you not already did it. If you are already done it, let me know so that I can go on, because I have to walk through all the graphs parts and let you create graphs before we go end the training today. Is that okay? I go on now. Did you already try the layers part? Okay. I think this is all clear. Any questions about layers? Anybody?
Hi, Julian.
Hi.
Yeah, Aziz, of course, I already created a layer, but the result is located into border layers and AU region. Why?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, the result of my the layer I created, I say, is located not in other layer, but in border layers and AU region, Western.
Okay. Where is your layer? What is the name of your layer?
My name is West Africa Level 0 CSE.
This one?
Not this one. I added CSE at the end, yes.
I don't see it.
Oh.
Region Western. Okay, this one you can.
Yeah, I think it's this one. Yeah.
Okay. So as you can see here already in the layer administration grid, the menu that you select is border layers, and you will put it under Western.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, of course.
So that is so here you have your layer.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand now. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay. So if there are no questions about the layers, I go on with the graphs. Okay. So there are 4 types of graphs. There's the profile graph, as you can see. This is a profile graph. I've showed you that already before. You are generating a graph over a selected region. So you must have a map open with a vector layer where you can select the region that you are interested in to generate your profile graph. So then there is a cumulative graph. A cumulative graph is, as it already says, is accumulating all the values, and you will have to select a reference time series over which you then go with the current value. So you have a reference time series and a current time series. In this case, it is CHIRPS RF10 against the reference of its long-term average. So what you see is accumulation. In the accumulation, if it is below the average in red or above average. Then we have a ranking zeta score. The ranking zeta score you do over one product, not over more products. The same thing is valid also, the same thing is valid also for the metrics graph, which comes later. So you, in the ranking, generating a ranking graph, you select one product, but multiple years over the selected region. So this is a ranking graph. And then you can select also here, if you want the zeta score value over the product. So this is zeta score graph. Then we have a metrics graph. For a metrics graph, you can select only one product. But there you have to select then also the legend that you want to apply that are available for this particular product over multiple years. So here, for example, you see the seasonality of the NDVI over that area. So that is a metrics graph. And in the future, we will implement also the possibility for different other graphs, like scatter plot, for example. So the features in the graphs, yeah, all the graphs, they are configurable. You can also see the logo and disclaimer object and edit them. And you can configure practically all the visual aspects of your graph. You can save a graph as PNG and download also the time series in Excel format. Then what you can also do, you can link graph windows to refresh with the selected geometry in a map, which I will demonstrate also. So that is more or less what you can do in graphs. So also you can save the graph as a template, just as you can with maps. So I'm going to give a demo. There are for each graph videos available on how to create them. And also a video about the general functionality, like the logos and how to change all the graph settings that you would like to change. And then in the end, that will be the last thing we do for today. We do the exercise where you will be creating each type of graph by yourself. So I'm going to give you a demo now. Here I created already a workspace with all types, all the graph types, as you can see. What I will do now is I will recreate all of these graphs so that you can see how it is done. I will close them. This is my map where I have my vector layers. Now, to create a new graph, there's the new graph button here. Click on it, and you have the selection profile graph, cumulative graph. Okay, mute. The ranking graph and the metrics graph. I start with the profile graph. I am going to create a standard profile graph, which is created very often for the land products. I select the NDVI, the filtered NDVI. I will take also the min, the long-term average, and the maximum. So this is my list of selected time series that I want to see in my graph. And I want to add also rainfall. I add then chips with its long-term average. And now also chips and long-term average. If I'm not happy, you click on this icon and you remove it from the selected buckets, like this. I add it again. Okay, so this is the list that I'm interested in, of subproducts that I'm interested in. And then you select a period. So you can choose a from to period. I don't know, maybe from the beginning of the year until now, today. Okay, so what you have to do now is you have to select a region. I don't understand why this field is empty, but here normally it says selected region, which you have to select on a map that you have open. So I select, for example, this area, Angola, and then I click on Get Time Series. And it is generating on the fly over this, over the selected regions, the time series for the selected products over the selected period. Might take a while because the server is a bit slow with more than 15 people, 15 people working on the server. And there it is. So this is the selected period from the 1st of January till now. And yeah, that is how you create a profile graph. So now I see that I'm not really happy with the y-axis. I want to have the NDVI, for example, on the other side. So here, next to the products button, you have an edit graph properties. You click on it, you can change many things actually. So you can change the title, you can change the color. The title is actually by default the selected area, but you can change it, you can add things. You can change the color also, for example, blue. And the font size, make it a little bit smaller, for example. The same thing for the subtitle, also its color and font size. And it's also the legend, which is this part here. You can change the color of the legend name and also the font size. So if I want to make it smaller, you see that it is becoming smaller now. The same thing for the XX. So the dates that you see here, also that you can change. For example, I want it also smaller. I put it in 14, and it's changing it to 14. Then we have the y-axis. Okay. So the y-axis, these two. For each one, so we have one yx1, which is actually the NDVI. And then we have yx2, which is the rainfall. So also here for each y-axis you can change not the ID, and the title you can change. There's a test. You can change the font size, the color, but you can also change the min and the max value. So that is these values, the min and the max. So for example, I want the min to be on 0 and the max to be on 1. And it changes the min and the max value within your y-axis. Also a unit you can change. For example, rainfall has a unit. I want it in millimeters. Put an extra n. So you see that it changes also the unit. Okay, the last thing that you can do for the y-axis is you can change also where the position, if you want it on the opposite side or not. So I want the NDVI on the opposite side, so I say true, and it puts the NDVI on the opposite side. Then we have the aggregation type. You can change also the aggregation type, so how the values are calculated. Each type of product has its own aggregation types. So for example, for NDVI, you can choose for a count or a percent. but by default it is the mean value. And then for example, for rainfall, you have also the aggregation type is the precipitation. So let's select here the precipitation, and then automatically it's going to recalculate the time series over the selected product, but then in as aggregation type precipitation. Okay, there's no indication within the graph about the aggregation type, so you really have to look in the graph properties what aggregation type has been used for the specific y-axis product, let's say. The min and the max, I am not really sure. Marco is not here now. I don't remember exactly how you can play with that also. You can filter, I think, also values that that has to be between the min and the max. But I'll let you confirm that by Marco when he is back. Okay, that's about it for the graph properties. So I'm going to walk you through all the settings that you can do within the profile graph, but I'm not going to show that in the cumulative ranking in metrics graph because that is not really needed. I'm going to show you only how to create a cumulative ranking in metrics graph. So what more can you do? You can also change the colors of the time series itself. For that you have to go to the product. So you click on the product button within your graph. You see the whole list of products that you have chosen within this graph. And then you see here another button where you can change its settings. For example, this one I don't want green, but I want very light green, for example. Okay, I change it. I make the change. I keep the period the same, and then you say update graph, and it will change the color. Okay, that will take a while. Also here you have your logo object and your disclaimer object, which you can show and hide. You know how to edit them, so I'm not going to show that to you. Because I did not save this graph, it did not save some of the settings, like for example the y-axis setting. So I have to change that again. It isn't true. Why doesn't it do that? That is strange. Okay. Okay. So now you see that the color has changed of this line here, this one. You can also deselect the others, select them. Okay. Resize the window. You can also hide again the toolbar, but to create some more space. You can also collapse the whole window. So you can move it around and work on other. Okay, what else you can do? You can also save the image. So you click on the PNG icon and the image is saved. If you have the objects in here, also the objects will be put in there. Then you can also click on the download time series values. It will generate an Excel file for you with all the values of all the time series that you have selected in the graph. You just click on it and an Excel file is generated on the fly. Then another thing you can do is to save the graph as a template. Click on the Save button. By default, it says that it is a profile graph. And then I say my graph. And I save it like this. I click on OK. Template created. And now you see here that this graph is a template. You can go to My Graphs. So a bit slow. And you see here my profile graph, which you then can open and use in your workspaces. Okay. Now, for example, I want to use this graph, but I want it over a different region. So if I now click on another region, it is not automatically updated in here. So what you do then is you click on this button here. It's a toggle an on and off button. If you click on it, it automatically checks if the region is the same as the new, as the selected region. If it is not, then it changes the time series. So now it is generated over the newly selected time series region. If I select another region, for example, this one, it automatically generates the time series over that region. And you can do that, turn that on for all your graphs if you want, but it is better to, not to do that for because you have them. If I do this, then you have two of the same graphs, not really useful. Okay. So that's about everything for the profile graph, and actually also the general functionality of graphs. I hope that is all clear to you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Otherwise, I will go on with the cumulative graph. Okay, so I go on with the cumulative graph. You select the tab cumulative. You choose a product of interest. For example, I choose a rainfall product. I take, you have to take the current, let's say, product, and also a reference product, for to be able to generate the cumulative graph. In this case, I will use not the min or the max, but the long-term average. So you compare the 10-day rainfall estimation to the long-term average. So the 10-day RFE is the current, and the long-term average is the reference. You can also change it. That doesn't make any sense. So if I now say, okay, no, I want to say, oh dear. So that is the reference, and this is the reference. Okay. So you have to select something that makes sense So I select as a current the 10-day RFE, and the long-term average is the reference. Then you have to select a period. I will select a year. Let's take this here. And then you click on Get Time Series. And here you see the cumulative graph for the chips and its long-term average. So as you can see here, red is below average, and green is above average. So there is a small part that is green. So if I now select another region, maybe where there is often very dry. Oh no, okay. Okay. So they seem to have quite some rainfall in this area this year. Okay, that was the cumulative graph. Let me know if there are any questions. And I can go to the ranking. So for the ranking, you can choose only one product. So I choose, for example, DBI, filtered. So if I click on another product, you see that it is replaced by the new one. So you can select only one product. I don't calculate the zeta score. And then you select preferably all the years, but maybe that is a bit too heavy for the server. So I select 10 years. Okay, so here you see all the available years anyway of the selected product. Then I click on Generate Time Series, and the ranking graph will be generated. I can do the same, but I can do that also for the zeta score graph. So here you see the zeta score column. You just select it, and then you get time series, and for this one, then the zeta score will be generated. This might take a while. So are there any questions until now? Oh dear, yeah, you see, the server cannot handle it very well. So this one is empty. Okay. Is everybody already trying to create these graphs, or can you confirm that, someone?
Yes, I have the two, zeta score and DVI filtrate.
Okay.
One, yes.
Okay, yeah, because they are empty here now because we are all working on it, and the server is a bit overloaded. So if you can stop for 1 second, I can try to regenerate the graph. You click on the refresh button here or to regenerate your graph. I hope that now it will work. We are actually, I let it go for a while. Let me see. The concept node. We are supposed to finish now with the graphs and also the exercises. So we are a bit late. Is it okay for you if we go on and finish the graph part? Or should we stop and go on tomorrow morning? I see that it is not working.
Yeah, Julian, sorry, how long would that take to go to the end of the presentation? Foreseen for today?
Now, we are now in the exercises, so the only thing the server is a bit overloaded, so I cannot create really the ranking graph. So maybe I can try to do that for just a few years. Okay, 3 years. What is the score? It will take 10 minutes for me to show also the metrics graph. It's quite easy to do. And then they were supposed to do also everything themselves. I noticed that since the server is quite overloaded, that they are already doing this. So we could skip also the exercise if they. So this is what the ranking graph is looking like. Here we have then also the Z score. I don't know, Marco. For me, we can go on until they finish the exercise, but that is the last thing that we do today. So this part.
No, I think it is reasonable. I don't know, Meshach, if you, what is your view?
Because we are on different time zone, it's difficult to really make that decision. But since Julian says it will take about 10 minutes, we can finalize.
Well, I can. I mean, if it is, it will take longer if you want to play and create the graphs yourselves. But you can do that also. So the participants, they can do that also in their own time now, and ask me questions about the graphs if they have them tomorrow morning, so that I can finish now my presentation, my demo, by creating only the metrics graph, and then we are done. So 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we can close. If that is okay.
Yeah, I think that can be a good suggestion. I mean, considering that the time zone is different, so maybe tomorrow morning the participants are going to be able, especially from the eastern coast, to work a bit on the exercises before the time of the meeting. So we can leave this part open, just finish by demonstrating the final part of the presentation, and the exercises, I think, indeed are available on DLP. So we let the participants free to work on that now, if it is still early for them, or tomorrow morning, if it is now late, so maybe it's 6:30 p.m. in some countries. So that would be my suggestion.
Okay. Okay. So I've created a profile graph, the two ranking graphs, and the cumulative graph. The last graph is a metrics graph, which I showed you already in the slides. Also here it is possible to select only one product. So I'm going to select, for example, again, the NDVI. Here I can show you also if I select another product, then the selected product is substituted, because you can select only one product. So select the filtered one. Here you can select the color scheme to apply, and then you select the years over which you. So I'm going to select just a few of them, over which you want to generate the time series. I keep the selected area. You click on Get Time Series. And the matrix graph is generated. It manages with the selected color palette applied. It takes a while. Okay, it managed to do it. So as you can see here, the metric graph is generated, and the color palette that you selected has been applied. If you want to select another color palette, you go to Products, and you select another color palette, maybe the P4 one. Okay, and you say Update Graph. Now here you see also gradient. If you select the gradient, then it uses the colors that are in the selected legend, but it uses intermediate colors as a gradient then. So it generates a gradient using the colors that are in the selected legend. So let me do that also. So here you see that I've changed here under products a new legend, and you see that the colors are changing. Now I will generate the gradient. So I click on Get Time Series, and it creates a new graph, but this time it uses the gradient for this selected legend. It's a way to visualize better the data that you want to see in the matrix graph. So as you can see here, the legend that is used is in a gradient style. Okay, I think that is it. That was also the matrix graph. So now we have seen how you can create each type of graph, and also how you can change all the settings of the graph itself. I want to ask you if there are any questions on this. If there are no questions, you can see you can also hide certain values in the matrix graph. No questions? Okay. Good. So now you are supposed to do this exercise and do this, create all the graphs on your own. I will leave you, if you did not already do so, during my explanation in my demo. You can do that maybe in your own time this evening if you have time for that, and if you have any questions about the graphs, then you can ask them tomorrow morning. So remember that the slides with the exercises you can find on the DLP. So here we are in the analysis part, section 2. You click on the presentation, and you have your slides that I am showing you here. Any questions, remarks? Nobody? Please? Okay. Good. So, Meshup, I think that we can close for today.
Okay, I don't see any question also on the chat. Well, I really have to thank everyone because of staying on board for that long. I know it's not easy to follow online for the entire day. It's not like when you're in a classroom. So I really want to thank you, Julian, for the efforts and for all that you have dedicated your time to do this day. It's tiring, but I know that, and also gathering from the survey that we released. We have a survey that we are requesting participants to fill, and from the indication is that people have gained a lot of knowledge from this Urian, and congratulations for leading this exercise. And especially the exercise in the afternoon has been wonderful, hands-on exercises. We really appreciate that. So to the participants, we appreciate your presence from morning to now. And it's my sincere hope that you're still going to practice even after the training to continue the practicing with the software and knowing what products and what services that you're developing, and that you can easily find them. So just the urge for you is to fill that survey that I sent to your email, and I think I also shared through the chat here. I know you're tired, but if you can give us some feedback, it's not a long survey, it's just some few questions that you just indicate the choices, then we can shape tomorrow's training. So Marco, I don't know if you have anything to add.
No, not really. I just indeed we appreciate a lot the feedback. I know it's late for some of you, but if you can fill this form also today, also tomorrow morning before the beginning of the training, we are looking at the comments, and they can also help in orientating the second day. So that's why that would be very, very important if you can